Before I tell you anything about the Gita, I want to tell you why you should be suspicious of me. This book is old, roughly a few thousand years ago, and there's still disagreement among serious academics about how old it is. Hold that thought for later. And for more than 1,000 years, some of the smartest and the most enlightened people who ever lived in India have written explanation after explanation of it. Hundreds of them. Go to Amazon right now and you'll find dozens of versions. And every single one is sure that it has the real meaning. And now here's one more guy on the internet, me, about to tell you what it means. You should feel a little suspicious of that. Honestly, I would too. Because here's the strange thing about this book. It's the same Gita, and the smartest people who ever read it could not agree on what it's actually telling you to do. Take Shankara, Adi Shankaracharya. About 1300 years ago, he said the most important thing is knowledge. Wake up, see clearly, realize that this whole world is almost like a dream you're caught inside, and the goal is to see through it. Then comes Ramanuja, about 300 years after Shankara, and he said no, the most important thing isn't knowledge, it's love, devotion to God. You don't wake up out of the world, you love your way toward the divine. Same book, one says wake up, one says love. Each one is sure the other missed the point. So how do you make sense of that? Here's the key that unlocks the whole thing. Neither of those men was reading with a blank mind. Each one already had his own philosophy, his own team if you like. And each one walked into the Gita carrying that philosophy with him. And he walked back out having found exactly what he already believed, sitting right there in the text. Here's the pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Each of them walked into the Gita carrying his own system and walked out having found it conformed. This book became a mirror for them. And it didn't stay a polite debate between philosophers either. Jump forward to the late 1800s, a man named Bal Gangadhar Tilak in India read the very same Gita as a battle cry. He said, stand up, fight, act. He argued that Indians had become too soft, too withdrawn from the world, and that's why they couldn't throw off foreign rule. And revolutionaries fighting the British took Krishna's words, stand up and fight, completely literally. The Gita became their bedside book. Same book again. One man hears, withdraw from the world. Another hears, pick up a weapon and free a country. That should bother you. It certainly bothered me. And that second reading is still alive today, by the way. Right now in India, there's a loud and serious argument about whether the Gita is really a call to defend the civilization. I'm not going to settle that argument for you. That's a real debate, but it's not this channel's debate. The moment I make this about which side wins, I've turned the gate back into a weapon. And a weapon is exactly the thing I'm trying to get us away from. I'll explain what this gate and weapon is soon. Because this channel isn't about which team gets to own the Gita, it's about what the book actually says and whether it can genuinely help you live your life and solve your life's problems. Now, the guide I'm going to use through all of this is a man named Sri Aurobindo, who lived roughly at the time of Swami Vivekananda. He was a saint, a nationalist, highly educated, and he saw all of this weaponizing, all these people swinging the Gita at each other, and he gave it a name. He called them the polemist commentators, people who took this sacred book and turned it into, in his words, a weapon of offense and defense against other schools. But here's why I picked Aurobindo and not someone else. He says this isn't just a problem with the Gita, it's a problem with people, with humanity itself. We do this everywhere. Religion does it, obviously. My book is the only true one. Everyone else is wrong. But here's the part people don't expect. Science does it too. Back in 1912, a man named Alfred Wegener suggested that the continents drift, that they slowly move across the earth. And the scientific establishment didn't just disagree with him, they mocked him for decades. They said he wasn't a real geologist. They said it was a fantasy. He actually died before anyone admitted he might be right. And today, he was right. It's the foundation of how we understand the entire planet now. The point isn't that science is bad. The point is that the certainty, we have the truth, everyone else is a fool, shows up in a lab coat just as easily as it does in a temple. It's not a religion problem, it's a human problem. Aurobindo had a beautiful way of putting it. He said even the wise fall into, and I quote, cloud of intellectual egoism or spiritual pride. The mind grabs one piece of truth and then it calls that piece the whole truth. That's the disease. And then he says the thing that actually stopped me when I read it. Aurobindo's image is the one that stopped me. He says the Gita is not a weapon for dialectic warfare, it's a gate, opening onto the whole world of spiritual truth. It maps the territory, it does not build walls to fence off one corner. Think about the difference. A weapon is something you swing at someone. A gate is something you walk through. And the second you turn this book into my side is right and your side is wrong, you've stopped walking through it. You're just hitting people with it. So here's my promise. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm going to walk you to a door. But a door to what? Open onto what exactly? And this is a big idea of Aurobindo's whole first chapter. Now, you might think I'm about to say something soft like, all paths are the same, everyone's right, it's all beautiful, go hug a tree. I'm not. Imagine someone says to you, well, your truth is true for you and my truth is true for me, and there's no real answer to anything. That idea that everything is equally true, Aurobindo rejects flat out. He says there is one truth and it's real. He's not a relativist. That's the world for everyone's equally right about everything. He thinks that's lazy. There's a real answer, but the truth is too big for any single book, any single teacher, any single religion to hold all of it at once. And that's not a weakness, that's just the size of the thing. No single cup holds the whole ocean. So every scripture, Sri Aurobindo says, has two layers. One layer is temporal. That just means the stuff that belong to its own time. The local customs, the dated social rules, the thing that made sense back then. And the other layer is eternal. The part that stays true in any century, in any country, for anyone. And reading the Gita well is really just the skill of telling those two layers apart. Keep the eternal, don't waste your time defending the temporal. That's the gate. It opens onto the part that doesn't expire. That's eternal. And why does this matter especially right now? Because we might be living in the most temporal moment in all of human history. Everything around us is built for right this second. The next quarter, the next post, the next little hit of dopamine. And here's a text that has survived thousands of years doing the exact opposite thing. It's a bet on what doesn't change. In a world like ours, that's almost a radical act. And I'm not going to pretend this is easy. Telling the eternal from the temporal is real work, and you can get it wrong. The commentators who narrowed this book down weren't idiots. They were brilliant, great men, and they still narrowed it. So here's the fair question to throw right back at me. If I'm going to keep the eternal and drop the temporal, aren't I just inventing my own Gita? Doing the exact thing I just accused everyone else of? Here's my honest answer. There's a job called being a Sanskrit scholar, and their work is to reconstruct exactly what this text meant back then to the people who first heard it. That's real, valuable, painstaking work, but it is not my job. My job, and Aurobindo says this straight out, is to find what's still alive in this book for us and to put it in a language you can actually use on a Tuesday morning. My protection against just making it up is this. I stay tied to the text. and follow the guide who spent his life inside it. I'm not freelancing. I'm walking through the door behind Aurobindo. And by the way, this tension, eternal versus temporal, isn't just a Gita thing. Every tradition that lasts long enough runs into the same split. The people who want to freeze the scripture exactly as it is versus the people who want to keep it alive and breathing. You see that fight inside Islam, inside Christianity, inside Judaism, and absolutely inside Hinduism too. It's one of the oldest arguments human beings have. And once you see the shape, refuse the two easy answers, go find the hard third one, you start seeing it everywhere. It's not just about how to read a book. Take the thing we talked about last time in the last video, the drive, the ambition, that hunger to win. There are two obvious things you can do with it, and both of them are traps. Number one, you can kill it. That's the fake spiritual move. Give it all up, renounce everything, pretend you don't actually want anything. I don't buy that, and I'm not built for it. Or you can get eaten by it. That's the second trap. You let the grind swallow you whole until you've completely forgotten why you were even running. And the real move is the third one, and almost nobody does it. You don't kill the tiger, you don't get eaten by the tiger, you learn to pet the tiger. That's why I named this channel Pet the Tiger. The tiger is the drive. It's dangerous, it's ambitious, it's powerful, and it's not going anywhere. Kill it and you make yourself small. Let it eat you and you're gone. But if you can put your hand on it, keep all that power and stop being its prey, that's the channel. Keep the hunger, stop being eaten by it, pet the tiger. And notice it's the exact same shape as the gate we discussed about. Don't worship the text, don't throw it away, walk through it. Don't kill the drive, don't drown in it, ride it. Every single time is the same move. Refuse the two easy deaths and find the hard third life. So that's what you're signing up for here. Not a man who's got it all figured out, handing answers down to you. Just a door and someone walking through it right next to you. Hand not quite steady on something that could honestly take his arm off. And next time, we stop talking about how to read this thing and we actually start. The first real idea, one you can test in your own head the same night. So here's the one thing I'll leave you with. This week, catch yourself once in the middle of wanting something. Mid-ambition, mid-scroll, mid-craving. Don't fix it. Don't judge it. Just ask, am I petting this or am I being eaten? That's the whole exercise. Just notice. The noticing is where everything starts. And hold on to that noticing. That little part of you that can stand back and watch the wanting. Because that's exactly where we pick up next week. And one more, for free. Anytime someone tells you what a sacred text really means, any text, any tradition, ask yourself one question. Are they opening a gate or handing you a weapon? And once you start looking, you'll see it everywhere. I can't promise you the tiger gets tame. I can only show you it doesn't have to eat you. See you in the next one.